All right, what's up, Trash Talkers? Here with Bill the Mad Russian Pearson and Trigger Joe Britson for the fight card. We got a pretty good fight card coming up this Saturday for UFC. We didn't do one last week because the fight card sucked, but this one looks pretty promising. We're going to go over the rules again. Sides will post it, and it's pretty simple. All right, got to pick the fight, got to pick how it's going to happen, got to pick what round it's going to happen, and there's point totals for each of them. 2 weeks ago, we had a dead draw tie. And we'll let the guys discuss that because I know Trigger Joe was pretty triggered at some of the outcomes. One of the decisions was pretty crazy, and we don't know if it should have went that way. But we all know how competitive boxing and UFC and all that kind of stuff goes. You never know what the judges are going to pick. So we'll give the first word to still the reigning champion, Bill the Mad Russian Pearson, is still yet to be dethroned. What do you got to say here, Bill?
Yeah, once again, last week that fight card did suck, but I will be man enough to admit Joe should be up, but that point swing on that wacky decision was up. I'll give Joe credit on that one. That was a BS decision, but I'll take the win.
Esparza Rodriguez, that's the one he's speaking about.
Yeah, the Rodriguez fight.
All right, Joe, what do you got to say about what do you got to say about 2 weeks ago and your tie?
Oh, it's honestly gross. I hate that we both have the same number sitting next to us. It completely nullifies the tab. Like, oh, hey, I'm backwards. It completely nullifies the tab. You can't talk any trash. But yeah, that's the way it goes. That's my fault for not putting a tiebreaker in on like Till and Whitaker significant strikes or something. We should have just done that, but that won't happen again. We'll put a tiebreaker in this time for sure.
All right, cool. So for those of you watching, remember we go over their picks, and then we'll at the end of the show we'll do their locks for the bettors out there. The first fight, we're just doing the main card for Saturday. The first fight is a lightweight fight with Beneil Dariush at 18-4-1, and then Scott Holtzman at 14-3. So, Bill, the Mad Rush, you get to say your pick first.
All right, I'm going with Dariush with a second-round submission. What you got, Nick? Joe?
Go ahead, Joe.
I like it. I also am gonna go Dariush. You know, I'm saying first round submission. Yeah, anything after the second round, guys are sweaty. Submissions are hard to put on. So we learned that the hard way over Verdum and Gustafsson last week. Oh yeah. God, but yeah, I'm gonna say Dariush. He's not necessarily a knockout artist, but this Holtzman kid's no slouch. He just hasn't fought that kind of competition yet. So taking Dariush, awesome. First round tap out.
Okay. Again, we called out, Tim Kennedy, Joe Rogan, all these guys to come on our show. I mean, I know that we'll have about 40 viewers here when this gets released, but we're definitely the smartest UFC predictors ever. So you should probably listen to us. We're going with the women bantamweight fight after that one, and you got Yana Kunitskaya and Julia Stolarenko. If I said those right, we'll give Joe the first word on this one.
Nick pronouncing the names is one of my favorite parts of doing this. I truly enjoy that. But I'm gonna go with Kunitskaya by decision. What you got, Bill?
I almost went with that today. I almost went with the decision, but I'm gonna go with Kunitskaya as the third round TKO stoppage. She's got the power, and I think she's gonna beat her up. But she doesn't have that, that Shevchenko type of power. But she can throw them hands for sure. So I think it's going to be a third round TKO.
Awesome. And those of you wondering what Bill's got going on in the background there, he's still stuck in his quarantine hotel from his last PCS. And so, again, if it was anybody else, we would feel really bad for him. But because he has done nothing but dominate the Trash Talk crew, we're kind of happy he's uncomfortable. We'll go with the middleweight fight. After that, you got Maki Pitolo and Darren Stewart. Darren Stewart is listed as the #1 contender. So, Bill, you got the first word on this fight.
Yeah, this one I'm going with Darren Stewart with the decision, which I know is probably throwing some people off. But if you look at Stewart's last fights, he keeps winning by decisions. And I think this one's going to be the same. I think it's going to be a little bit of a chess match. I still think Stewart's going to pull it off, but it'll be a decision.
Joe, what do you got?
You know, I'm gonna this is gonna be where we separate the men from the boys. I'm gonna take Patolo, and I'm actually gonna take him by knockout in the second round. He's 4-1 in his last 5 fights, and 3 of those are knockouts. And the only loss was a decision. So yeah, I'm gonna take him by, did I say second round? Second round? Yeah, second round knockout.
Yeah, you did. Second round knockout.
Yeah.
All right, now we'll move on to the co-main. The co-main's got another guy, Omari Akhmedov, probably the guy that blew up Beirut. And then you got Chris Weidman. So let's go with Joe with the first word on this fight.
I'm actually going to take Akhmedov, and I'm going to take him by decision. I don't think either one of these guys are finishers. Not really. Chris Weidman's 2 biggest finishes were Anderson Silva looking like he just drank a 12-pack dancing around, and Anderson Silva breaking his leg. So I'm gonna go Akhmedov by decision.
That's probably a pretty good one, but I took Akhmedov by a 3rd round KO, just because Weidman's proven his chin's it's just not there anymore. So I think Akhmedov might get one lucky on him. Probably mid 3rd round, he's gonna get his timing down and clock Weidman. Weidman's done. He shouldn't be fighting anymore. We talked about that earlier.
Yep.
It's time for him to move on, I think.
All right, you heard that, Dana White. If you're watching, I know you are, but get him off the card, get him out of here. He's done. He's washed up. I could probably take him out in the first round. Probably not even a sweat, especially after my buddy Beck was.
What shirt are you wearing? What shirt are you wearing though?
Well, I'm wearing a trash talk one because I'm not in any danger right now. When I go outside, the tap out shirt goes on.
Put that thing on.
Yeah, tap out shirt and then the Ranger panties, and I mean,
be
crazy,
efficient.
Crazy to mess with somebody like that. We'll go to the main event here. We got Derek Lewis versus Alexei Olenek, and we're gonna give Bill the first word on the main one.
This is another one where me and Joe could get burned because we keep getting burned by these damn grapplers. I'm going to go with Lewis, 2nd round KO. But like I said, Joe and I keep getting burned by these damn grapplers. I mean, he could pull off like a lucky armbar or something on Lewis. Or if he gets Lewis on his back and he turns into a turtle. I'm going to go with Lewis, 2nd round KO.
Nice. What do you got, Joe?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Lewis just to give us some separation. I'm gonna go with Lewis 3rd round stoppage, punches, obviously TKO. I think if you look at the weight discrepancy, Lewis is probably gonna be smart and wait to get off and not commit early. So if he gets to the 3rd round, that sweat factor comes in, and he can get a little more gutsy, and I think he won't mind administering some ground and pound, given the fact that he's 35 pounds heavier. Only in the heavyweight class do you see that. But
all right, guys, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I'm going to come up with a scenario, and none of you guys have prepared for this, but I want to give you a $10,000 house credit. You got to put $5,000 on one fight. You got to put $5,000 on a 3-pick parlay. All right. So we'll start with Joe, $5,000 on 1 pick alone, and then $5,000 on a 3-pick parlay. What do you got, Joe?
Good question. Good question. I honestly think that my lock for this fight, even though he's an underdog and it's great money, is Akhmedov. I don't think Weidman has a shot in this fight. And Akhmedov, on what I'm reading, is plus 115. So he's actually the underdog. But I don't think Weidman has it to roll with this dude. He's Russian and he likes to grind.
All right, Joe, we'll let you go over the card a little bit for your parlay. Bill, who do you got in your lock? Your one pick $5,000 lock.
Honestly, for my lock, I'm going with Kuniskaya. It's for sure going to win that fight. So if I were to put $5,000 on for a lock, it'd be Kuniskaya. I don't think Stardienko has a shot in hell against her.
Okay. So we got Kuniskaya for the lock with Bill's lock for 5,000. All right, Joe, what do you got? 3-pick parlay. Got to make it happen. Got to make the big bucks on the parlay. What do you got?
All right. I'm going to go ahead and if you're picking in Vegas and you're actually betting, you can bet the whole card. So this is actually the last fight on the prelims. But I'm going with Tim Means, who's actually plus 120. If you look at the fight experience, he's got 42 fights, and this guy's a grinder. This Staropoli that he's fighting, I don't know a whole lot about him other than the fact that he lost his last fight, and he's not a knockout artist, and that's the only thing that really is Tim Means' downfall. So I'm going to take Tim Means. Man, this is a tough one because there's a couple I want to go through, but I'm going to take.
You're going to go with Akhmedov, right? Akhmedov is your lock, so you might as well throw him in your parlay, right?
Yeah. And so if you're going with Means and Akhmedov, you're going with two guys who are plus 115, plus 120. That's good money. And then Derek Lewis is he's not going to lose this fight. So I'm going to go with Lewis in the main event from my last one.
All right, there you hear it, Trash Talkers. For your big money parlay, Joe says go with Tim Means, Akhmedov, and Lewis. All right, Bill, 3-pick parlay. What do you got?
Honestly, I'm going to be pretty similar to that. I'm going to go with Means for sure. Then, Kuniskaya Lewis.
It's exactly the same. Me and Bill need to take 20 G's to Vegas and bet together.
Guaranteed if we go into Vegas, we could win a shitload of money.
Remember, by no means are we responsible for your gambling habits out there, Trash Talkers. However, if you have been listening to these guys, you'd be up some serious cash right now. So if you have a losing weekend this weekend, it's only because you just started. But these guys have a pretty good record and have been crushing it. So there you have it, Trash Talkers. We'll give the last word to Bill the Mad Russian because he's still on top. He's still the king. So what do you got, Bill? Last word.
Again, if you listen to Joe and I, we will win you money every time. That's almost guaranteed. Don't forget, just to plug myself a little bit, September 11th, Gold Star Century Team. I'll be in NGC, but my other two guys, go to our site, donate. They're going to run as many miles as they can in 9 hours, 11 minutes on September 11th. Go to our Facebook page. They'll be doing live updates and live photos.
All right, we'll put a plug in for you, Bill. Glad to have you guys on the show. We'll see what happens on Saturday. Don't forget, we'll have our show on Saturday. Go see us at our store and at www.veterantrashtalk.com, and you can hit us up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and whatever else I'm forgetting that Perry's going to get mad at me for. So you guys have a great night. See you Saturday.